So probably in the end of the context, I'll probably mainly talk about the house and the memories involved. I don't know how I would word that though.
Because my students walk through writing, they have a better understanding of themselves as writers and the type of community they can be a writer in. They can both visually imagine their essay and talk through each step that they would include in their final product.
So how can we start that and then loop around and connect it to the beginning?
At Spring Mills High School, everyone who works here chooses to stay here and think about our growing, changing, diverse community and how we offer our students a place where they feel like they belong. And I want to give students that sense of safety that they can share their story with someone else. And so currently we're working on personal essays to capture who they are right now in their own voices. So walking through writing is an activity to help students think about their writing up front before they sit down to do drafting. First of all, raise your hands if you know how to play hopscotch. All right, great. When you hopscotch, right, you don't necessarily always go through every single step. You may not in your essays want to follow that exact order. You may need to hopscotch it a little bit. You give students signs that they lay on the floor that essentially become conversation stations. At each step, they would describe what might go into their essay in that moment while the other person took notes.
I think I want to talk about how the house made me who I am today, but it's actually my family who made me who I am, and how I miss my grandma.
For the AP exam, they are required to write 3 essays in 2 hours. So they need a strong sense of the pieces and parts of an essay in order to be successful.
Okay.
You get dialogue.
Next.
A dialogue. Build a relationship through voice. Helping out my parents. Like my dad would just be, he would yell from like the front, give me like a bowl of acetone. It was kind of like my job in a way. Breaking it down step by step puts thoughts into words more fluidly, what to talk about or how this affected this or this affected that.
I'm a big proponent of having a thinking partner because I think in life, most of us do our best thinking with other people.
Describe the tension that you felt when you first saw the snake, how you reacted, what you felt inside basically.
And I encourage students to talk about what's beautiful and what's working and maybe what's not working and how someone might riff off of an idea or borrow an idea.
I like to do things in pairs, groups, so I think it's extra effective because I can also have another brain kind of clashing with me, helping me grow, helping me change.
Getting kids on their feet is important. They just need to be active. Even the big kids in the advanced placement classes, they need an opportunity to move around, to engage in a different way. And then having to have a conversation with another person is a different skill than sitting with your pen and your pencil. There was rich discussion, a lot of introspection, a lot of vulnerability among students. And you could just see them build their understanding of what great personal writing looks like if you dedicate some time to really thinking through what it is you want to say and how you want to say it. I always tell them, I said, I think you're going to surprise yourself with where your writing can go. And then just keep moving through each step of what your story is. Does that help? Okay.